Good morning. Here I am, ready to read you a chapter from my memoir, my first memoir, Daughters the Shadow Men, about growing up on a cattle ranch in southern Utah. And the name of this chapter is BooBoo in Big Holler. Here's the outfit I'm wearing in honor of my cowboy life, cowgirl life. My dad didn't have any sons, so he made cowboys out of us girls. Sometimes we weren't very good ones. I came back from southern Utah after my first year away from home in Garland, and when I went to cowpunching for Dad, I had not yet turned 14. I was 13 years old. And he told me he had something very urgent for me to do. He needed me to drive a herd of cattle to Sand Creek, the Salt Gulch Range. Now, he seemed very determined that I wasn't going to get out of it. He suggested I call and ask my friend over in Salt Gulch if she couldn't use one of their horses, and she'd trail the herd when I passed her place 8 miles to the west, and she would trail the cattle up, and I would go ahead to drive the herd and guide them to the place they were supposed to go. Well, it sounded awfully complicated to me, and I told Daddy, and he insisted that I could do it. So he even told me I could ride Sorty, his prize cow horse, and he'd help me drive the herd across Big Holler across Home Bench to Big Holler to get me started. Well, I was still pretty much stunned when this herd turned out the biggest one I had ever managed. Around 50 cows and calves, and what turned out to be a little demon-possessed herd of 5 dry cows and a bull. Now, right away, this little wild bunch moved ahead of the herd when we was going down Big Holler. I was alarmed, and I asked Daddy, how am I supposed to keep that herd and these slow cows together? And he said, I need to push ahead of the leading of the cows and the calves from time to time when there was a wash. This wild bunch might go up and run up the wash toward the mountain. I remembered there was a wash down in the bottom of Big Holler. Oh, surely they wouldn't run away up the wash this soon. But, oh, yes, they did. By then, Daddy was long gone. Mercilessly, he turned back at the top of Big Holler. I could see no way for me to push the herd ahead when we was going down that little narrow road in Big Holler. I doubted that even Daddy, the all-time great cowboy, could have done it. And I thought that herd of slow cows and calves would never get down to the bottom of Big Holler so I could check up that wash and see if the wild bunch had gone up it, because I couldn't see them anywhere. I rode Sorty up the wash a little bit, and sure enough, I could see fresh tracks. And the further up the wash I raced Sorty, the more anxious I became. Finally, I did catch up with the wild bunch, apparently headed for the mountain as fast as they could go, the fastest way they could get there, 6 trespasses, which was going to make Daddy absolutely furious if I lost these cows and that bull. I managed to get ahead of them. I turned them back around, and then to my horror, instead of running obediently back down the wash to join the herd, they turned and started up the steep sides of Big Holler. I simply did not dare ride up that steep side of Big Holler on a horse. Coward that I was. Yes, I was too cowardly. So I got off of that horse, yes, and I tied him to a bush. And he's looking at me, like, what's going on? And then I ran up myself, up the steep sides of the wash. And I did manage to herd and holler and turn that wild bunch back down. And then, instead of, I ran back and I got on my horse and I started driving, and instead of running back down to join in the herd, they turned up Big Wash. They turned up Big Holler again, up the sides. And so I thought, oh my God, and then I jumped off my horse, I tied him to a little bush, and I started up, and I must not have done it securely, because just as I started up after the cows on foot, I looked out the corner of my eye, and that horse had pulled loose from the bush. And then I remembered, just in time, that Sorley was not like a long line of great king horses. They, if you dropped the reins, they would stop right there. They would not move. And you could catch them anywhere. But Sorley was of a different breed. So you better not let go of the reins on him or he'd run away. Which he did one 4th of July when Dad broke the calf on him and he ran off with the calf over the hill. And he was a great horse. And I started after Sorley and run. I was hollering at him. I was saying, Sorley, Sorley, stop. Well, of course, he didn't pay the slightest bit of attention. A horse going back to the barn is going back to the barn. Oh, just a minute. Oh. So I limped along after him the whole 5 miles back to the barn, because I could hardly punch cows on foot, could I? So when we got up to the house, I noticed to my great relief that Dad had not gone anywhere, and Sorley went right on out the barn. So I never hated anything worse in my life than to go in there and tell Dad what had happened to his herd of 50 cows and calves and 5 dry cows and a bull in Big Holler. Well, he didn't say anything to Sorley after he caught him, told me to get on him again. He got on his own horse. But he said plenty to me. Well, we won't know any more than that pig where the rest of those cattle had gone. I said, oh. So we hurried out as fast as we could to Big Holler. And when we got there, oh my God, the cowboy angels were looking after me, because every one of the 50 head of cows and calves had laid down the other side of Big Holler in the shade when I wasn't driving them, and they were still there taking a rest. Dad said, well, round them up and head them on out there. And I said, I'm going to go see if I can't get the rest of them back. And he turned and went right straight up the side of Big Holler on his horse and took off to find the wild bunch. Well, I was really surprised when we got down the road a little ways, and here he come with that wild bunch, fast as he could, and run them into the herd. Only there was only 4 wild cows dry, and the bull. The other cow headed for the mountain as fast as she could go. I can catch up with her, he said. And then he pulled up his horse, and I said, I almost screamed. I said, Dad, you're going to go with me? You're going to leave me again with this bunch? Yes. I told you I have things to do. Just stay on your horse. He says, those slow cows and calves are not your problem. Your problem is the wild, dry cows cows and the bulls, and get ahead of the herd, and every time they go up a wash, go up it and get them back as fast as you can. Okay. Well, when I got to Rocky Hill, yes, they went up a wash, and I rode that horse as fast as I could, and Shorty went like lightning, and he rounded up that butt, and he brought him back to the herd with authority. All I had to do was stick him. And then, oh, every wash, every look, watch out, I had to run to the front. I tell you, my mind was mighty strained by the time we got to Barbara's house, 8 miles away in Salt Gulch. And then she could drive the dry cows, she could drive the 50 cows, swole, and the calves, while I run ahead, take care of that wild bunch. And on up the mountain we went. And we went past Roundup Flat. And then I started watching. Oh, I was still a nervous wreck, looking for that cattle guard. And I spotted it. I rode my horse up there. I undone that gate, and I managed to get it open without even getting off my horse. I wasn't going to get off that horse again. And then all the cattle went through, over one of them, but that one that I lost, and I thought, oh my God, now am I happy. So we started out, went down the mountain. I started telling Barbara all that happened, and all of a sudden I noticed something. Was going down the mountain. Sorry, my horse was dancing. You ever seen a horse dance? And, you know, Shorty always danced on the 4th of July. He knew he was going to be on display.